Test. Welcome to Money Talks. This is Dave Workman, and this podcast is brought to you by Workman Associates. Visit www.workmanassociates.com for information about the investment services, insurance, and financial planning we offer. Today's guest is Derreck Parkevich of the Cass County Family YMCA. Derreck, welcome. While a lot of people might know about you, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hey Dave, thanks for having me. Born and raised in Logansport, Indiana. Was a 2002 graduate of Logansport High School, so I'm a Berry through and through.
Okay.
Went to Earlham College, got a degree in business. Then went off to grad school at Ball State and got a master's degree and had a couple of different jobs in Baltimore, Maryland, Iowa, and then was missing home and have family back. All my family's still back here in town, so had the opportunity to come back to Logansport. Was my goal all along, was come back here and help make a difference in my community. And fortunate enough here at the Cass County Family Y, and it's been a blessing since.
Well, that's great, and we are glad to have you back. You know, you said you wanted to make a difference when you came back. In regards to directing the Y, what do you think that difference is in the community? I mean, what is the purpose of the YMCA here in Cass County?
Yeah, we provide a lot of different services, but to me the biggest difference and purpose that we do is quality of life. We try to improve the quality of life of our community members, of our community in general, whether it's through youth, adult, senior programs, exercise, socialization is a big one. We've got a lot of people that like to come in and just kind of hang out, drink coffee. We love that. We love people making connections and building relationships with people. So quality of life is the biggest one.
So that sounds kind of like what was going to be piggyback to my next question, benefit to the community. What are some of the programs that maybe you've implemented? Or what are some of the programs that you see as being particularly important? I don't want to magnify one over the other, but what are a couple of the ones that you really see that are very important in making an impact on our community?
Sure. One of the biggest ones that we've started in my time is our Y Fit Kids Boot Camp. And that is a United Way funded program, so very proud to say that United Way helps fund that program. But really what that is an opportunity for our youth in our community to get exposure to exercise at a young age, the importance of eating healthy, and trying to instill those habits, as they continue through their life. I hate to say it, but we are at times a unhealthy community, and our child obesity rates are through the roof. So if we can kind of get in their ear a little early and show them the experience, and it kind of goes well with their life. And I can't mention, I would do the program disservice if I didn't mention that Susie Walmsley is the instructor of that, and she does a great job with that.
I was just going to ask you, who is that sergeant of that boot camp that I see?
She's the sergeant, perfect word. Susie Walmsley does a fantastic job. She really eats that program up and really pushes and motivates the kids to a higher level.
And I've seen that, and it's a great point, and it's hard to believe, but you look at our country as a whole, and obesity, which is going to oftentimes lead to diabetes and the extra health care costs and just everything. I mean, there are so many benefits to having kids eat right and exercise, and the YMCA provides that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there anything as such a typical day at the Y for you and the staff? I mean, when does it start? When does it end? Maybe that's a place where we should begin.
Yeah, the starting point's pretty easy. Usually full-time staff's there 8 o'clock, not including the maintenance staff. Maintenance staff's there early. They're there about 5 a.m.
Is that when you open at 5?
Yeah, we open at 5 on Monday and then 4:30 the rest of the days.
Wow.
Monday through Friday, and then 6 a.m. on Saturday.
Wow, that's great.
So, yeah, they come in a little early, so their days, kind of get started before ours. But, the front desk staff, we kind of get our day started at 8 a.m., and then, it kind of starts off as a go-to normal day, and then, I wouldn't say that there's a typical day. Things get you never know what you're going to walk into with the Y, and on a day-to-day basis, good and bad. But for the most part, a typical day is, I like to say our Tuesdays are pretty typical in the morning, 8 o'clock. Then we have a staff meeting at 10, kind of go through the week, what we got coming up, projects, things that we need to work on, etc. And then, go to lunch, and then you come back and you just kind of tackle obstacles as they come. And
well, you talked about the time, but I know there's classes going on. Aren't there some classes going on at like 5:30 or 6 or 6:30 in the morning?
Yeah, we've got a set schedule for our group fitness classes and aquatic classes. So those are pretty typical. Those are very routine. Those are set. But as far as the staff kind of typical day, that's that's kind of unheard of.
I'm going to throw you a little of a curve here.
Sure.
All right. You were a baseball player, right? You can hit the curve.
Not well.
But who can?
Yeah.
These are great programs. But I know some people can't afford the Y. But I think the Y's done a great job of making themselves available for everybody. Tell me a little bit about who can afford the Y, and if you can't, what's available?
Yeah, we pride ourselves on being a place where everybody belongs. So we have a financial assistance scholarship program in place, and once again, that's help partially funded by the United Way. And what we do is we offer a discounted rate from 10% all the way to 75% off of a potential membership cost. And what that does is that really helps kind of, people in a situation, a financial situation that can't afford our typical membership, our normal membership rate. And we try to make it the best and, most easy, convenient for them based on their finances.
Well, I've been at the Y sometimes, and I know that it provides a great outlet for a number of young people. We're worried about crime. And the bottom line is that if young people are in there exercising, they're not out on the streets.
Absolutely.
And I know the C stands for Christian, and it might sound trite, but I know that an idle hands or the devil's workshop, you might have heard of that, you might not, but it just seems like there's so many things that the Y offers for our community and for our county. I think a lot of people don't realize just how widespread. Do you see, I'm sure I know the answer to this, but don't you see kids from Pioneer and Lewis, Cass, and Caston coming in there besides the Berries?
Yeah, absolutely. We're countywide. We've got families and kids from Royal Center, from Walton, from Galveston, from 12 Mile, all over the county. And really what that does is that kind of hones in on our purpose. It allows us to be that place where kids can come. They can interact with different kids from different communities or different schools that they normally wouldn't get the opportunity to do that. That happens on a daily basis. Kids coming in and socializing, playing basketball, playing in the activity center, participating in classes, things like that, in the weight room. It's just a general overall place for people to connect, get to know each other, and build relationships that they normally wouldn't get to.
But before I let you go, you got a little bit of a renovation project going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe where you're at in relationship to the fundraising aspect of it, and kind of what the vision is and why you're doing it at this point? Because I'll tell you why. A lot of people say, well, that's just a exercise place or a social place. And I think we've covered some things that it's a whole lot more to that, and it's a lot to the county, not just a few people in Logansport, but to the county. But tell us where you're at fundraising-wise and maybe what the vision of that renovation project is and why you're doing it now.
Yeah, it's been in the process for about 18 months, 2 years now. In my time there, it started as, I think it's been planned before that, but kind of been something that we've been carrying through. Had the idea of starting this capital campaign to really better utilize our space. We're in a 51-year-old building. We've got we probably use 60 to 65% of the building on a normal basis. So, we've got that shortage that of space that doesn't get used. And we think that, with this campaign that, we can raise the funds necessary, and we can raise the funds necessary to help better utilize that space, completely modernize the inside and outside, make it more attractive for visitors to the community that want to come in and see the Y. And really, so we started along this process about 18 months ago, and we had the idea to raise about $3.5 million. Currently, we're about 85% of the way.
That's
so
great.
We're creeping.
That's great.
We're creeping towards that goal. And I'd be shortchanged our Y in our community if I said it can't take on a project this size without great volunteers. So we've got a great board members. My capital campaign chair, Brian Morrill, absolutely fantastic. He's a Y guy through and through, Logansport, Cass County guy through and through. So they've been tremendous along the way. We're meeting with the architects next week.
Wow.
To kind of...
Which today this will go in January, so that's going to be in mid-December.
So mid-December, yeah, we're going to meet with the architects and kind of game plan what we got coming ahead in 2019 with some timelines, with some milestones. So we definitely feel that goal is within reach. And our initial goal is to kind of start a phase of the construction in the late summer, early fall of 2019.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
Yeah.
It's so important for Logansport. I try to tell folks, we're never going to have what I call a bonfire. We're never going to have Subaru come here and build a plant.
Right.
But if we can get enough of these campfires going,
exactly.
Like your organization, Houston Park, some of the smaller individual-run businesses in town. That's what people who are moving in, new doctors, new teachers, new accountants, new, young people coming back. That's what they need. They need to have a quality of life. And people may not see the benefits of one separate thing, such as the renovation of the Y, and not understand its importance. But it adds up to why people would want to move here. And now all of a sudden you have the fireside being renovated.
Exactly.
And so I've been a big believer in the Y. I've been a big believer in you. I think you've done a great job here. And your staff. Why don't you, I tell you what, I'd be remiss. Can you run down your staff real quick for me here?
Yeah. I got about 50 staff total.
That's
full-time and part-time.
We don't have that much memory on this computer, Derek.
I'll do the full-time staff. Starting with the maintenance department, you got Tony Hayden, who's the property director, Dave Harden, the lead custodian, and then we got Mark Fillmore down there, just a fantastic guy that'll do anything for the Y, on a day-to-day basis. And then we got more of the front desk staff, administrative staff. We've got Brandy Kaiser, membership marketing director. Nicole Braun, she is the front desk staff supervisor, and I call her the member engagement leader, kind of leading the way there with the front desk staff. We got Nick Latham, new program director, new to the community from LaPorte. Really excited about what all he can bring, his excitement and enthusiasm to the Y. And then Amanda Douglas. She's our business manager, handles kind of all the finances and gets all that HR stuff and gets all that thing ready for us. So great staff. Like I said, it takes a village to run a Y, and we got a pretty good village.
Well, that's great. And, kudos to the maintenance staff, because it's not easy when you have that many people coming through that day, being that hard on the building and making it look good.
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, Derek, thank you for coming. This is Dave Workman and Derek Parkevich of the Cass County YMCA. And this podcast has been brought to you by Workman Associates. Visit www.workmanassociates.com for information about the investment services, insurance, and financial planning we offer.